All right, serious news. We have been talking a lot about the NFL draft, and what remains the biggest story in the NFL now is Deshaun Watson. And the latest news on Deshaun Watson is the Tony Busby law firm sent out an email announcement on Wednesday evening announcing that they now had another lawsuit that they had filed. And I'm reading directly from the statement from the Busby law firm. Today, meaning yesterday, the Busby law firm filed its 23rd case against Deshaun Watson for allegations of assault and harassment. The woman in this newest case did not file as a Jane Doe. Instead, she chose to name herself. The cases are now consolidated without an official order in one court. All women have voluntarily identified themselves. These brave women now feel emboldened and will not be intimidated. As said before many times, we are proud to represent these women, to seek justice on their behalf, and stand up for survivors everywhere. Time's up. This is the Busby law firm, and that is their statement they made on the 23rd different lawsuit being filed in this situation. And so there are a lot of angles here to consider as we continue to break down the Deshaun Watson case. One is that all these women have now gone public using their actual names. The bigger issue at play here, however, was reported on Wednesday night by the Washington Post, and that is that at least 5 women now have gone to the Houston Police Department and reported that they were sexually assaulted by Deshaun Watson and asked them to open criminal investigations into his behavior during these massages. Now, so far there has not been criminal charges filed against Deshaun Watson, but when 5 women are all alleging the same thing, I think the odds are rapidly increasing that there will be criminal charges filed against Deshaun Watson alleging that he committed sexual assault. All right, this is me putting my lawyer hat on right now. And this has all spiraled rapidly out of Deshaun Watson's control, and it is an unmitigated disaster, however you would assess it for Deshaun Watson. This is me telling you what I would be telling Deshaun Watson if I were his attorney advising him right now, and that is, you have got to settle this case, okay? That's what I would be telling him right now. I would be saying, you've got to settle all of these cases. If it costs you tens of millions of dollars, you can come out with a statement and say that you don't believe you committed any crimes, but you understand that you made these women uncomfortable. That wasn't your intent. You apologize for all of your behavior in this entire case, for calling any of these women's motivations into question, that you are going to settle these cases, that you acknowledge that you have behaved in an inappropriate manner while you don't believe that you have behaved in a criminal manner, that it's inappropriate, that you believed everything that happened was consensual, but now having heard their stories, you understand that many of these women did not consent to your behavior, and you are promising that you will become a better human being going forward. And in the meantime, you are settling these cases, you accept your punishment from the NFL, and you have to desperately hope that if you do that, the criminal charges will not be pursued aggressively because these women won't necessarily cooperate with police. Now, let me say this for a minute, and this is me speaking as a lawyer. I don't understand why we allow criminal behavior, potentially, to be bought off if it is of a sexual nature. In other words, let me explain what I mean. If you were charged with murder, let's just pretend that everybody out there listening to me right now, if you woke up one day and you got charged with murder and you were super rich like Deshaun Watson is, you couldn't call the family of the person that you were accused of murdering and say, hey, what if I give you several $1 million? Will you not participate and cooperate with this story? You couldn't do that. That would not be in any way remotely permissible. Everybody would say, you're not only are you behaving inappropriately, you're actually obstructing justice, and you might get a new criminal charge that was filed against you. That's what very likely might happen. So I don't understand how it is considered to be legal, and this is me speaking as a lawyer, for someone who is rich to commit sexual assault and then decide that they should be able to buy off their alleged victim and have the criminal case basically disappear. It shouldn't be legal in my mind, because what that does is devalue sexual assault, because the idea then is if you pay enough money, this case just goes completely away. And I'm not saying women shouldn't file civil lawsuits when they are sexually assaulted, but I'm saying the first result should be the criminal charges. And then if you also want to file a civil lawsuit, that's fine. But if I had a daughter and she had come to me and said, Deshaun Watson sexually assaulted me, the last thing I would say to her is, well, how much money do you think we can get for that? I would want Deshaun Watson in jail. I wouldn't care about the money. I would want him to pay for what he did to my daughter. And I think that's the way that most people out there would respond. And if I were the woman in this case, I wouldn't want money from Deshaun Watson for what he did to me. When somebody's rich, they always have money. I would want him to have to serve criminal time. And so that is what is at stake now, with a report from the Washington Post that at least 5 different women have now gone to authorities and said, Deshaun Watson sexually assaulted us, and we want criminal charges brought against him. Over 20 women have said he sexually assaulted them, and they have filed civil lawsuits. But now at least 5 different women have gone to authorities in Houston, and they are saying, we want for there to be consequences here for his behavior, not just of a financial nature, but we want him to potentially face prison time. And let me tell you something. This is becoming a major and significant threat to Deshaun Watson, not just playing football ever again, but to Deshaun Watson potentially facing serious time in criminal court and potentially in jail as well. I mean, it's possible that Deshaun Watson, this is crazy, and it would have been even crazier if we'd said it a couple of weeks ago when these lawsuits first started getting filed. It's possible Deshaun Watson is the Jeffrey Epstein or Bill Cosby of the NFL, and that he is going to go to jail for years, and he may not play in the NFL ever again. That's how serious this legal jeopardy that he is under right now is. And let me tell you, if they file criminal charges against him, this is not something that's going to get resolved at all in 2021. This is something that could very easily extend all the way into 2022. And it's something, if he went to trial, where Deshaun Watson may never be able to play in the NFL ever again. And his legal team, in my mind, has not done a very good job so far of defending him. In fact, in my mind, they have actually made him look even more guilty so far. But he keeps getting pushed further and further into a corner now, where at this point, I really do believe that criminal charges are going to be filed against him on top of all the civil lawsuits. And this thing is trending in a really bad way for, I think, beyond a shadow of a doubt, for Deshaun Watson. But that is the absolute latest on the Deshaun Watson case. That is me putting on my lawyer hat and breaking down everything for you.